50, 100, or even 1000xing your crypto portfolio in this coming bull market. There are always some idiots on YouTube that try to tell you that it's very normal behavior, but how realistic is it actually to make that 100x with crypto? I'm making this video because this is more important than a lot of content that I made, I think, in my opinion, because it's about managing your expectations. It's not going to be a video where I say, this is not possible, don't try, it's all going to be bearish, da, 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 da. But I do think that it's really important to know what you can expect and what's actually common in this crypto market. And let's actually look at the data here, right? So we can see like, hey, if you now have $1,000 in crypto, can you walk away with $100,000 this bull market or not? So let's take a look at that. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. Happy to have you here. On this channel, you know, we talk about strategy, we talk about early investing, but also we try to stay a little realistic right here, because I know, I understand that it's good for the cloud. If you put 1000x here, 100x there, da, 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 da. But I do think that the actual content and what you get out of it is a little more important than the amount of followers that I end up with, if these people don't believe me at the end of the bull market anyway. So let's take a look. If we go to the altcoin market, because let's take Bitcoin away, okay? Bitcoin is like, if you look 10 years from now, then if I have to invest in anything, if I have to pick one coin, then it will be Bitcoin. It's the only asset that's like not even guaranteed, but pretty close to guaranteed that it's still there in 10 years and higher, way higher than what it is right now. Unfortunately, there's not a single altcoin that we can say the same for. Right? And you might say like, well, what about Ethereum? But we don't know. We don't know. Like there's always something that replaces Ethereum, and Bitcoin is here to stay. But Bitcoin won't give us 100x this bull market. Something really weird has to happen, right? I never say never, but it's not that likely. So let's take a look at the altcoin market. That's where we want to be. How do you want to 100x your crypto portfolio? Now, I'm going to tell you what I think is the big mistake and what I think is actually possible to do it. Okay, so the big mistake first is, again, by listening to certain crypto influencers that think that their follower count is more important than the actual knowledge that they try to give to their community. Okay, there are people in crypto, they're very smart at making a business out of crypto. They tell people what they need to hear, because sometimes what you need to hear is not that nice, right? They tell people what they want to hear. That's what gets you likes. I get it. However, is it ethical? It's straight up stupid, of course. So try to ignore these people, okay? That's the big mistake. And I will get also to what I think, if you want to come close to 100x in a realistic way, and it's also a lower risk way, then stick around a little longer, sit back, crack a bottle, let your bottle warble, and let's get right into it. So I made a video a couple of days ago where I gave my prediction for the altcoin market. Because if you want to 100x your portfolio, I do think that the first step you need to take is expecting what the altcoin market in general could do. What I said in that video, I'm not going to explain it all again exactly, but it came down to, I think that the total crypto market could go to 10 trillion. And that the altcoin market, and that's for a good reason, but watch that video, and that the altcoin market can make up 30% of that dominance. So that's around $3 trillion, right? So that's here. That would be my realistic bull target. From the moment where, from this point, that's around 13, 14x. Now, you have to remember, this chart is others, and others is everything outside of the top 10 within the top 125, right? So, like if we get a good bull market, hey, then XRP is not included in here, right? Why? because there are some low caps that are way more likely to do a 14x than XRP does, or maybe even Solana from this point, right? But you also have to realize that if you want to go for the higher rewards on a single altcoin, you might want to look outside of the top 125, right? And then you get down to this page, and then you go to page 2, and then you will end up with coins with a, $600 million market cap or less. And again, what I also explained in that video, it's not that weird to make them pump really hard, right? If you take a look at Solana's market cap, $80 billion. So if you take a look at the lowest right here, this is 800 million, right? It's 100 times as low. So take 1% out of the Solana market cap, put it into Flow, whatever the fuck, and this already does a 2x, let alone if people take Bitcoin's money in a parabolic bull market to the low caps. Yeah, that's crazy, right? It's going really crazy. So if you want to get as much returns as possible, you want to take a look outside of the top 125. But these are the low caps, right? They are not tracked on TradingView or in this chart for a good reason, because it doesn't add up really. You might feel like 600 million is a lot. This is 200 billion, dude, right? Like if you take all these coins and put it here, it will barely make a difference. So you're playing with fire as well, right? There's high risk to it. I want to make that very clear. Even in a parabolic bull market with the amount of altcoins that we have right now, it's still high risk if you go with these coins. But you want to do that. Now, the nice thing about crypto is that, especially for the altcoin market, it always gives us a preview, right? If you go to the theater, you always get a preview of another movie before the actual movie starts, right? And the altcoin market isn't that different. Here, we were going into a bull market, and it was like, here, you have a preview. We had a big run-up. We cool down. You saw what altcoins responded best right here. So these were the altcoins that you wanted to get in here. Same thing in this market. We had a preview. We had a preview of what altcoins were responding best. And here we had a chance to get in before the real leg happened. And this time we had another preview, right? We cannot look here and be like, wow, ADA ran the hardest right here, so we should be in right here. That was 7 years ago. That's not the same market. That's not the same. Nothing is the same anymore, right? However, this was 7 months ago. This is the same market. So this is actually comparable. So what you then want to do is take a look at, okay, which altcoins responded how, actually. So, for example, we have Forkforged. Just filling in something, right? From the bottom to the top, this thing did a 430%. So your job is to at least pick an altcoin that did that, right? Otherwise, it means that the rest of the altcoin market is outperforming your altcoin. That Bitcoin is now outperforming your altcoin. That goes for most altcoins. But your altcoin should be at least as good as the average market. Why? Otherwise you would be in that one, right? Forkforged did a 300%. Hey, I like Forkforged, but it is an underperformer. So skip. So you want to look for the altcoins that responded well, right? For example, we had Seedify, and what Seedify did from the exact bottom to the top, same time period, right? Didn't do a 400%. From bottom to the top, it did a 1,000%, right? So it did twice as well. Again, it went down together with the rest of the market. That's also the thing, where this went down from top to where we are right now with 40%. Seedify from top to where we are right now went down with 80%. Also double, right? It had the same, double the pump, double the retrace, basically. That's fine. As long as you don't buy the pump, then it's a great entry right now, right? Could go lower. I'm not saying that it can't, but hey. That's how you find outperforming altcoins. Now, again, you need to see the video where I gave out my prediction for this market. I think altcoins go to $3 trillion. That's high, but then again, compared to other bull markets, even if we include diminishing returns, it's not spectacular, and it's by far not the best bull market, right? So this is not Moonboy target, whatever. This is really like okay, this is what we can actually expect, right? From this point, like I said, where we are right now, that's incorrect. I don't know what happens right there. From this point, that's, let's say, 1200%. So you can theoretically say that CDFI, and I'm not saying it will, right? Definitely not. But theoretically, you can say, like, okay, CDFI could go 2400%. And guys, hear me out. This is not me predicting that CDFI will go to $30. Definitely not. All I'm saying is do the math, and this is the outcome, right? This is not a prediction. This is analysis. But that's a 25x. Right? So if you look at some outperforming altcoins, they don't even come close to a 50x, or let alone 100x, or like, again, some idiots tell you 1000x, right? It's nonsense. So one, you have to really pick the outperforming altcoin. Now, that's hard, right? How are you going to do that? Not by looking on YouTube, seeing these YouTubers talk about this altcoin will 1000x. Why? The key in crypto is to be somewhere before anybody else is. That makes the price so low. After that, masses have to step in, like massively, to pump it that much. So you really have to find an altcoin yourself, because on YouTube, everybody gets that information. You are not like front running anybody. Matter of fact, you are being front run by that YouTuber, right? So that's not the way. You have to have some insights, be in great Telegram groups, Discord, whatever, and pray to the fucking crypto lord that it might happen. I can also tell you 95% of the coins, well, that's like 99% of the coins that you will invest in won't do it anyway, right? So either you invest a lot of money in one altcoin and there's a 99% chance that you get fucked, or you invest not a lot because you don't want to lose all your money, but if it then outperforms, you also don't make a lot. So that is already like a super low chance. Then, if you somehow did manage to do that, good luck. Because if an altcoin does 100x, right? 100x. Some people, they look at altcoins. I don't know if I have a good example. What is a good example of a altcoin that did very, very, very well in the past? Because these are mostly newer altcoins right here. But you have to stick with me for this. Because, well, wait, PAL maybe, right? PAL. What did PAL do? PAL did a insane return. 9,000%. Crazy shit, right? That's crazy shit. However, if you look at this chart, you might be like, wow, if I got in here and sold here, I'll be rich. However, you probably don't get in here. I have a better example of a chart that has a little more history. Delesium, for example, right? Didn't exactly 100x, but from the bottom to the top, that's on its Bitcoin pair. From the bottom to the top, I think it was like 60x or so. Yeah, kind of 60x, right? You won't. So first, again, finding that altcoin and for some reason being stupid enough to put enough money into something like that. Okay, already mission impossible, I think. Right? But if you somehow manage to do that, then try to manage to buy here. Right? And don't be smart like, yeah, I just buy here, 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 here. And if you also buy it here and here and here, your average still would be here, right? No, you want to have that 50, 100x with a good bunch of money, right? So you want to really go massively in at the bottom. Then you ride it all the way up, right? You make a 20x. For some reason, you still don't sell it. Okay. Go down, go up again, 30x, 40x. Still not selling it. Made a 40x with a lot of money and you're not selling it. Okay, like, I don't want to be judgmental, but it's not that smart. 50x and that's 60x. You exactly sold everything. Crypto is like really cool in theory, right? Where you can hear the success stories. But let me tell you what, there are millions of people in crypto, just as there are millions of people playing the lottery. So out of these millions, if finally somebody wins, you of course read it everywhere, right? Because it is not common. Same as plane crashes. Wow, a plane has crashed. So it's not safe to fly in a plane. Well, no, I mean, it's kind of big news because it never happens, right? And that's the same with the lottery, and the same, especially with meme coins, but also with just making these 100x's. So this is in so many different ways, not the way. Now, let me tell you how I think the way could be possible. And like I said, this is also the lower risk. If you want to have more insights, by the way, there is a Patreon down below. You get exclusive content right there. You can look at my portfolio, etc. So you have some extra value, plus private sales. Really cool. Check it out in the pinned comment. Worth it. However, there is a way. And that way is a little different than this gambling. Gambling into the right altcoin, buying in at the right time, and gambling that you get out at the right time. The different way is actual strategy. Believe it or not. It applies and it exists and it works. However, people want quick money, especially in crypto, because that's where they feel they can do it, and then they wreck themselves. That's what we see. And again, I know there are exceptions to this. Like, there are always people said, well, I bought this here and sold this here, still made a lot of money, and I put it right there then, and great. It's not that common. If you did that, then you did exceptional, and that's amazing. Fortunately, a lot of people choose to go with these exceptions, and 99% loses, right? While if you go with strategy, which is a quite slower approach, you take way less risk and your reward is higher. And that's what I'm gonna show you right now. And I don't want to make this first part like too long, because I've covered this quite a lot, and I think that the older people on my channel, they know about this, but the newer people might find this pretty interesting. So what happens in crypto is people are getting really excited about altcoins, as that's like the thing, right? Bitcoin is boring. Bitcoin won't give you good returns. Yeah, we all know that that's nonsense right now. But a couple of years ago, you would be surprised how many people said that, right? What you can just do, and this is what I said 2 years ago already, and I would say apply this in the next bull market, NFA. Bitcoin had its bear market. Red line is Bitcoin, right? It had its bottom, right? At a certain point around the bottom, which is pretty predictable for Bitcoin, it is pretty safe to buy Bitcoin because you know that Bitcoin won't infinitely go down and it will come back, unlike any altcoin out there, right? So you could have bought Bitcoin, this whole area right here. In the meantime, Bitcoin went up from 15K to 75K almost, so did a 5x. Of course, you won't try to time the bottom, and you won't time the top. So let's say you get a 3x out of it. Still nice. So you put $1,000 in, now you would have $3,000. If you now have that 3,000, so you already 3x'd, right? So you only need a 30x from this point to make a total of 100x. So what you now can do is look at the altcoin market and try to aim for a 30x. That's still really high, but that's already a little more realistic, right? If you don't talk about that, come in, man. If you talk about that 100x for just buying altcoins, yeah, that's just a bit unrealistic. And there's a good chance that you throw your money away. But now you just have to do a 30x. So you can take less risk. That's also an upside. So you don't have to look at these low cap fucking altcoins right now because you need to get so much out of it. You can look at the more established coins. And then you can shuffle, right? If there is a coin, let's go again to the top 100, top 125. Let's look a little outside of the top 125 again, right? If you look right here, there are a lot of good altcoins right here. Echelon Prime, for example. Just clicking something, right? $300 million market cap currently, 800 million fully diluted. Gaming narrative, it's a whole ecosystem. The hype is really there. The backings are great. This has a chance of doing a 10x. Like some people say way more. I think that that's doable from this point. So you put your money in there. You already had that 3x, right? So you put $1,000 in, you have $3,000. If you put it in here, you make a 10x, you have $30,000, right? 30,000. Yeah, that's pretty doable. Because now, if you want to get to 100K, you only need another 3x. And that's basically reshuffling your money, right? Because there's more bull market to go after this thing did a 10x. It probably gets into the low caps. That's how the money flows. Bitcoin, Ethereum, high caps, low caps. So you only have a 3x to go from this point. Yeah, that's pretty doable. Again, for that, you definitely don't need to take a lot of risk. So it's super important that you understand how the market moves, right? People, they see that Bitcoin has bottomed and they feel like, okay, let's buy shitcoins. In the meantime, Bitcoin is up 5x, but your shitcoins made a new cycle low at the moment of recording against the Bitcoin pair, right? So it wasn't time. So you buy Bitcoin, make money with that Bitcoin, put that money that you made into the altcoin market at the lows and then ride that up. That's compounding and that really works. It really works. And the cool thing is, like I said, this is also the safer approach because you basically been in Bitcoin for the whole market. That's the lowest risk you can take in crypto, of course. Right? So please try to ignore the clickbaity titles with people that say you can make 100x with this coin, 1000x with that coin. Look, there are coins indeed making thousands of X's, right? But again, it's all nice in theory, right? But again, try to pick that altcoin before that happens. You don't know that. Try to do it with a good amount of money. Well, that's actually stupid because you take a lot of risk. Try to do that at the exact bottom and try to sell that at the exact top. Yeah, then you actually made that money out of it. It's a lot of if, and it all has to come together. That's not skill. That requires a ridiculous amount of luck. And if you're watching my videos, then I assume that you are not the most lucky person in the world. So let's not try to do that, right? Let's actually try to apply something that works. Takes a little more time, but more steady gain, low risk, and at the end of the day, you will outperform most people. Need to get that out of the way. And yeah, I want to wrap it up right here. There's a lot to say, but I think this is most important. So again, a lot is in hindsight because it's now not the best time to buy Bitcoin compared to altcoins. But I think that if you, like we applied it this cycle, it worked. If you apply it next cycle, it will be fantastic. Right? The market has shown it to you. Like this is how it goes all the time. So let's not try to be smarter than the market, right? Nobody is actually. And the writing's on the wall. Read for once, right? Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to like the video, you have my permission. Subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and I'll see you soon.